Welcome, everyone, to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, a special Patreon preview episode showing you what we do every single month on the Patreon. That's Baby Kangaroo Media at Patreon, patreon.com/Baby Kangaroo Media. Let me get it out right. You can follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. You can email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can email the Patreon at babykangaroomedia@gmail.com. And I am back with my co-host Tyler. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing good. And I was telling you that I've just been swamped with stuff at work, and I couldn't record a regular podcast for the regular wrestling feed. I said, you know what? I'm just going to give them a sample of all the wonderful things that we do over on the Patreon, and I will plug it more towards the end. But folks, it's just $5 a month, and all of the over 60 pieces of content, Tyler, 10 months. That's an average of 6 pieces of content per month.
Jeez, we've been doing this for a while now, haven't we?
Yeah, this is episode 10 of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show on Patreon.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, we've got the Joey Harris Super Show, Book Club Baristas, yada yada yada. We'll go over it more. But this month, Tyler and I are taking a look at NXT versus TNA Showdown that they recently had. It was shown on the CW on October the 10th, 2025. And I did not watch it live on that. I've got the CW app, and I need to say this right at the top, awful app. Just it was laggy for me. And
Agreed. I'm gonna sound awful, but I have to be truthful. I was invested in the first match,
okay.
and then I played on my phone doing whatever for the rest of it. So like there was moments where I was like in and out of it. Um, and I don't know. I feel like the CW being on the CW app was part of it because I watched it at home because I had gone home this weekend
Right.
and watched it at my mom's place. Um, and yeah, just the app loaded slow, with the in and outs of sound quality. Like there are just points where it's like completely just no sound. So I just couldn't be like fully invested in it.
And I think I had told you, I don't know if this is everyone's experience with this app, but I get up and I take notes for whatever show that I'm doing in the mornings. Um, and so I split it up over several mornings. But with this, the first day, like I was not able, I was like running behind. And so I was 11 minutes into the episode, which is the first match, the champion versus champions match, and stopped it at 11 minutes. I'm like, I'll pick it up tomorrow. Next day I come and it's at the same spot. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Well, it took me like 3 or 4 days to watch this all the way through. And every single time it was at that 11-minute spot. So from then, after then, when I would stop it, I'd make a note as to what time that I had to fast
Mm,
forward it to until the next time. And then it was laggy and sound cut out just like yours. So there's definite improvements that they can make on
mm.
their CW app.
Which I knew going into it because you had told me previously, because you tend to watch things before I do.
Right.
Um, and I was really happy that it was a shorter show. I mean, like we discussed before the show started, it was like probably 2 hours with commercials, but
Right.
I watched it straight through without commercials. So it was like an hour and 28 minutes, which was nice because we have previously been doing things that have been like 4+ hours, which
Oh
is
yeah. Yeah.
uh sometimes a slog to get through. So
And would you have ever thought that, Tyler, being a wrestling fan, you're like, hey, I've got 4 hours here. I've got nothing to do. This is great. And it turns out to just be like a slog to get through, like you say.
Growing up, no, it wouldn't have been an issue, but, like, when you become an adult, you have things you wanna do, you're tired, you just sometimes you literally just wanna do nothing and not even watch TV. Like, it just makes it hard when shows are long. I mean, do you feel that way? Is that something that's
Yes,
happened with age?
yes,
Because
and attention spans getting shorter because hey, I've got the computer, I've got tablet and phone, and throw something on that I can halfway watch while I'm playing a game or scrolling or doing social media.
exactly me. You literally just described me. Which I alluded to, like, a few minutes ago. Like, I can't fully focus now
Hmm.
on it because it's just sometimes it is too long. Now, there are exceptions, of course, like WrestleMania 40 when we were there in person,
Hmm.
completely different. You're experiencing it in person. It's awesome, like the crowd energy, but, you know, when you're watching a screen, sometimes your mind wanders.
Yeah,
Like, oh, look at that Facebook notification.
yeah, yeah. Um, and I go down rabbit holes. Sometimes with wrestling, and it's like, hey, this match took place in Pittsburgh, and so I'm looking up where it took place, and I'm like, oh, that used to be the so and so, and oh, that team played there. What happened to that team? Are they still around? Oh, they moved to Toledo, and and then you're going down all of these things, and then oh, I wonder what's happening on Facebook. Oh, somebody sent me a friend request or a comment or something. And oh, now I need to check Twitter or X or whatever.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah. And Instagram and threads and TikTok. And you're just going from thing to thing to thing.
And then for me, it's like, oh well, you might as well hop on YouTube and watch a
Hmm.
couple of shorts,
Yeah.
which then
Yeah.
then leads into, 2
My,
hours
da-
later.
my dad does that. He watches reels on Facebook. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? Watching reels. Somebody just took apart this 1964 Chevrolet engine, and I watched them do it. I'm like, okay.
But yeah, I mean, so that was the nicer thing of being a shorter show. So
I looked up for the regular feed in November. I had been doing all of the Thanksgiving Starcades that WCW did, and they only did them from 83 through 87 on Thanksgiving. So last year I did 87, and I picked up 1988 when I started the podcast. So I've done all of those, but WWE did a couple of Starcades, like just house shows that they made 1 hour specials of on the WWE network. So I'm looking that up. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch the first of those specials this year, and I can watch the second one next year. I'm like, it's a 45-minute show or it's an hour show, whatever. It's very short. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. And then I try to do a certain number of episodes per year, and I'm one short. And I'm like, okay, I'll do one for the day after Thanksgiving. So I wanted to watch because it's the 40th anniversary or 50th and no 40th. 1985 is 40. The 40th anniversary of um, Ted DiBiase taking on Ric Flair during an episode of Mid South Wrestling, and right before Dick Murdoch turns on Ted DiBiase and like busts him open, and
mhm.
he's bleeding like a stuck pig, and he still wants to have the match, and he's just bleeding profusely while Ric Flair and him are wrestling. So I'm like, I wanted to watch that episode. That's 45 minutes, and with the short attention span, I'm like, that's perfect. I can watch that in like a day, or if I need to pause it 2 days. And it's not oh, this is 4 hours. Let me carve some significant time
Mhm.
to watch these. But you had mentioned before we started recording um, that they originally this was called NXT versus TNA Invasion, and They didn't want to do the invasion name because it was going to come out on the second anniversary of the attack in Israel that they
Mm.
considered an invasion. So they changed it to Showdown, which I have no problems with. We start out with our WWE and NXT intros. We have the Showdown intro. Booker T and Vic Joseph are our announcers for the event, and the main event participants are shown arriving. We start out big, Tyler, champion versus champion tag team match. TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff, versus NXT World Tag Team Champions, Dark State, Osiris Griffin, and Dion Lennox. Now, the Dudley Boys and TNA President Carlos Silva are shown in the crowd. When they are on WWE programming, they can be the Dudley Boys. Otherwise, they're Team 3D.
Mhm.
Same guys. Dark State come out and they all jump the Hardy Boys before the match starts. The Hardy Boys clear the ring. The referee sends the rest of Dark State to the back. I don't watch NXT regularly, so I just called it the rest of Dark State. Jeff and Lennox start. The Hardys dominate. Griffin tagged in and missed a leg drop so blatantly that they mentioned it on commentary. Now, we
Yep.
are recording this on StreamYard, folks, and you can put down what your name is or what you want to go by in the caption. Mine is special guest ref because they had a couple of those during this show. Yours is botched leg drop tie. Now, is this the botched leg drop you're talking about?
Yes, it is.
Dark State was not as crisp as I thought that they could be, but to me, it looked like the Hardy Boys were kind of moving at 3/4 speed as well.
Well, so okay, so I'll let you finish and then I'll because that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah. He misses a second leg drop when Jeff moves. Matt tagged in. He goes for the twist of fate, but Lennox has tagged in and clotheslines Matt. Lennox beats Jeff down to the mat when they come back from commercial. Griffin tagged in and continued the beatdown. Lennox back in and gets a 2 count. He continues to work on Jeff's back. Griffin tagged in, more double teaming. Jeff fights back. Matt tagged in. Matt hits a DDT. The Hardys hit the plot twist, but Griffin makes the save. Dark State with a double slam, but Jeff makes the save. Matt with the twist of fate. Jeff hits the Swanton bomb to win. And the Hardy Boys are their new NXT Tag Team Champions. They then have a stare down with Team 3D.
Not a bad match. I don't think I'm not I don't know how I want to say this. There's not a really bad match on the card. However, um the that leg drop really
Yeah, yeah.
you're right. Even commentary picked up on it. But also Matt and Jeff are showing their age.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's no denying it. They have slowed down quite a bit. Um which is sad because I love them, but I I think that was the hard part about watching that match was you just they're slow moving. And it's not that they're bad. They're not bad. They're just
No,
not
no.
young anymore, you
Right,
know?
right. And all I can think about now whenever I see them is when they were both in AEW and Jeff's debut, saving Matt as from a beatdown, but he's dancing to the ring as he's running in to save his brother. Oh,
Because
but
that's the
then
same sorry to
no,
it's
go
the
ahead.
same thing I thought when they came to Limitless Wrestling. Like, it was awesome. I'm glad I got to see them in person, but it's like the match they had was, they're slowing down.
Right, right. We then get a Survivor Series match, Team TNA, Team Inspiration, Marseille, and Kalani Jordan versus Team NXT, Lola Vice, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and JC Jane. Jordan Grace is the special guest referee. Jane and Jordan start back and forth. They shove each other. Vice tagged in. The Inspiration double team Vice. Parker in some quick 2 counts. All 8 women in. The Inspiration takes out the field. All get a chance to do high risk moves. Ruka gets away. Jane tagged in and cleans house. She gets a 2 count on Jordan. Parker and Sade in the Inspiration double team Parker, but she comes back. Sade misses a moonsault. It breaks down. Sade rolls Parker up to pin her. Ruka pins Sade. Vice goes off and pins Cassie. She then makes Jesse tap. Jane tags in Jordan with a moonsault, but Grace was distracted and only counted 2. Vice tagged in. Jordan gets one over on her and pins her. Ruka gets a 2 count. Jordan with a Frankensteiner and a DDT for near falls. Jordan hits a Spanish fly, but Ruka gets her knees up. Jane tags herself in and pins Jordan to win the match for NXT. What'd you think?
And it was a fine match. I will say Sol Ruka's finisher that's incredible. I think she was the best part of the match,
Yeah, yeah.
in my opinion.
I agree. However, I was entertained by JC Jane. I will
Mhm.
say that. Matt Cardona tells Ava he wants a match. Josh Briggs comes in and Ava makes him a match with Cardona for next week. All right. This is the point, Tyler. When I realized this, I told you I was listening to Jim Cornette uh, review this with his co-host Brian, and they went over the quarter hours of what the ratings were. And they described this. They didn't watch this part. They fast forwarded. They just watched the matches. And whoever does the ratings must not have watched this either, because they said it was a segment between Ava and Santino Marella. I'm like, Matt Cardona and Santino Marella are not the same person.
Nope. Wait, hold on. I guess in some sort of lighting.
Like they've got maybe similar features, haircuts the same or something. I don't know. All right. NXT North American Championship match. Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali. To me, this was the match of the night.
Agreed.
They lock up and drive to a corner. Page with a wrist lock. Ali reverses into a hammer lock. Ali gets a couple of 2 counts. Ali with a flurry of offense. Page throws Ali out. Ali pulls Page out to ringside, back and forth. Ali chops Page. Page runs away from Ali. Ali hits a DDT to Page on the outside. Page drives Ali's head into the ring post. Ali comes back and goes up top, but Page hits the top rope. They fight up top. Page drives Ali into the top rope and hits Snake Eyes, but Ali kicks out. They trade shots. Ali ran into the ring post and Page got a 2 count. They trade counters. Ali with a tornado DDT for a 2 count. Back and forth. Ali counters an Ego's Edge attempt into a Hurricane Rana for a 2 count. More close 2 counts. Ali with a Hurricane Rana and a suicide dive that sends both crashing through the announce desk. Ali goes up top, but his foot is caught in a mic cable, and Page pushes him off. He hits the twisted grin to get the pin. I like that. That was a unique finish
I
that you
liked
didn't
it too.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing, like I said, because I was, paying attention, but also, on my phone too. How did he get the cable wrapped around? Was that just
They when he goes and does the suicide dive out to on the floor, they crash over by the announce desk, and he kind
right?
of takes Booker T out. And so they're trying to get unraveled. I think in reality, when they were behind the desk, he wraps the cable around his foot because that's what they had done. But that was the plausible reason that they had done it. That they were all like over the announce desk because it was a pretty like lengthy suicide dive, and there was a
Mm,
good reason for them to be over there. Like it made sense in the moment.
great. Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of figured like that was obviously it was like intentional, right? But
Right.
like I was like, did I miss it? Did I not see something or?
Yeah.
But gotcha.
And that was the longest mic cord for them to go all the way from the announce desk over to the
Yeah.
ring and up to the top rope. They're like, given 30, 40 feet. All right. Sarah Schreiber talks to El Hijo, Dr. Wagner Jr. about Ethan Page. Lexus King comes in and says it's Tavion Heights, who then comes up behind him, and you realize that's not Tavion Heights. And I said, this was just silly. I don't understand what this was about. But I also don't watch NXT regularly. So maybe it makes more sense that way.
Yeah. We're out of the loop.
Main event, Team TNA, Leon Slater, Frankie Kazarian, Moose, and Mike Santana versus Team NXT, Javon Evans, Miles Bourne, Trick Williams, and Ricky Saints. Joe Hendry is the special guest referee. They all face off. They argue over who starts. Kazarian and Williams start. Bourne tagged in. It breaks down, and all eight men get in. It goes outside, and Bourne falls on all of them with a suicide dive. Back in, he gets a 2 count. Kazarian comes back with a leg drop and a cutter, and Bourne is eliminated. Evans in, and Kazarian works on him. He tries to pin Evans with his foot on the ropes, but gets caught. Williams tagged in, Slater tagged in, back and forth. Williams gets a 2 count. Williams chops Slater in the corner. They trade chops. Slater hits the cover, but Evans makes the save. Saints in. Santana also comes in. Santana and Williams face off. Slater tagged in. Slater cleans house. He goes off on everyone. Evans head scissors out of a Moose powerbomb attempt. Slater catches him in a springboard to pin Evans. Saints pulled off the apron as Williams was trying to tag. Saints tags himself in. He gets a 2 count on Slater. Williams drops down and leaves Saints alone. Kazarian gets a 2 count. Kazarian goes for the chicken wing, but Saints shifts and pins Kazarian. Slater in and attacks Saints. He gets a cutter for a 2 count. He hits a swanton, but Saints gets his knees up and pins Slater. Moose in and drop kicks Saints off the top rope. Moose with a Uranagi and a senton for a 2 count. Saints counters a powerbomb attempt into a DDT. Santana breaks it up. Santana tagged in. He kicks Saints. He gets a slam for a 2 count. Saints hits a super kick. Moose goes to spear Saints, but he moves and Santana gets hit instead, and Saints gets a 2 count. Moose comes back with a powerbomb, and Santana hits the spinning clothesline to pin Saints. Avon and Santino Marella talk about what has happened, and they sign off. So what are your thoughts on that match?
Um, too long, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Not bad. I like the angle that they went for of Trick Williams just leaving
Right.
and leaving Ricky Saints there. And then Ricky Saints kind of doing like the underdog thing where he does eliminate Frankie and Leon Slater, but then obviously Moose and Mike Santana uh get the better of him.
Right. I agree. And overall, it was a fine show. A way to spend 2 hours. Nothing overwhelmed me, but nothing was horrible either. I mean, other than the leg drop, and they even mentioned that on commentary. So it was fine. It was fine for what it is and what it had to do.
Out of a 5-star rating, what would you?
A 3.
Yeah, okay, that's what I would say too. It was fine.
Yeah. But so is that, excuse me. So Tyler, what is next for the Patreon? I was thinking of this. So we've got November coming up, and it is the time where we have Thanksgiving. And what do you usually have in Thanksgiving? Turkey. All right. So I think we should watch one of the biggest turkeys ever in wrestling history, and that is what is considered the worst pay-per-view in wrestling history.
Survivor Series 1990?
No, that's the debut of The Undertaker. That's one of the best. I'm talking about, this is independent. It is called the Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view. It's on YouTube. Okay. The whole show is on YouTube.
Okay, Heroes of what?
Of wrestling.
Say that one more time.
Heroes of Wrestling.
Oh, sorry. You cut out a little bit when
Oh, I'm sorry.
Heroes of Wrestling. Uh, all right. Is it's its own independent thing, you said?
Yes.
I'm not seeing it, but you could just send me the link through Facebook and
Yeah. So it's like Heroes of Wrestling pay-per-view. I'll send it to you. But yeah, it is notoriously uh known for being bad. So
what?
you'll see. You'll
Is
see.
it okay, is it an hour and 29 minutes?
No, this is two
No,
hours and 40 minutes.
2 hours and 40
I'll
minutes.
send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Oh, okay. Is it Heroes of Wrestling or pay-per-view
Yeah.
with full ending
Yes.
1999
Yes.
disaster?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
All right. But folks, this is only a small part of what we do on the Patreon. We get bonus episodes just like you're getting here, a preview of that. We get the Joey Harris Super Show, where this month Tyler and our friend Nan took the Joey Harris quiz to
Hmm.
see how well that they knew me.
And let it be known, I won.
Tyler won. Yep. Nan and I did the book club baristas, and we talked about what if we lived in a small town in Maine, Tyler, and vampires showed up.
Wait a
Um,
minute. What small town?
Salem's Lot, of course. And I was telling her because there's a character there. This takes place in the mid 70s, and as part of this deal that he does with this guy who's representing a vampire, he gives the guy in exchange for this house that they want to buy. He gives him the land deed to what becomes the Portland Mall.
Mhm.
And I said, which many years later, I'm traveling down an escalator, and the guy reaches over and grabs my arm from the up escalator. And Nan's like, that's a real place? I'm like, the Portland Mall is. And she goes, oh, no, I meant Salem's Lot. I'm like, no, that's not a real place. The Portland Mall is very real.
Yes, yes, it is.
But all of that and so much more, patreon.com/baby kangaroo media. You can get about 20 items on there, including my notes for this show, the Cup of Joe on Patreon show, including my monthly newsletter and all of that, absolutely free just for signing up. If you want everything, which is over 60 pieces of content now, $5 a month, including there's a couple of short films that our friend TJ has done that are on there. The Artist Corner with TJ. So much, all that, just $5 a month. I think that's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, it is. We always like joke about this, but you can't even go to Subway and get a
You you
$5 footlong anymore.
you can't get a personal pan pizza for $5.
Mhm.
All right, but
Sad.
Tyler, yeah. Before I let you go, Tyler, go ahead and tell people, plug in everything that you have.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Tyler MCK.
I am on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at the Joey Harris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. We can also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. And don't forget to hit subscribe. So, for Tyler, this is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
Bye.